Welcome back, everybody. This is Brother Mutant here. Today we're going to continue our quest to beat Pathfinder Kingmaker. We are using Dorraj, our Sword Saint, our main character, who is a Magus subclass called Sword Saint. For those of you that played Pathfinder, you probably know Sword Saints more as the Kensai build, but they're fun. I enjoy them. And we are also teaming with a couple mercs that he specifically hired on purpose. Backstory, if you read the first couple episodes, and listen to the first couple episodes. But one is a custom-made undead eldritch scoundrel, and another one is the Inquisitor with a dark secret, and she has the ability to also summon and conjure, if you will, random pets. So she gets to pick from a list of 3 at every combat, so she has a wide assortment of stuff that she can have. For those of you that have never played the game before, know that I am not using the vanilla version of the game. I am incorporating mods, which is what you're seeing here. Notice the things that you'll stick out as being different from a vanilla version of the game is I have turn-based combat. That's a biggie. That's literally allows me to turn any fight into a pen and paper version where there's initiative rolls like normal. I can control teammates individually and kind of prepare the battle, if you will. You can still do this in the game. It's called real time with pause, but it's very fiddly and it gets cumbersome. Knowing who's going where and what happening, because once you unpause it, everybody, and I mean everybody, starts doing their thing. So it's just a cluster pile. So if you really are more enamored with pen and paper version, I highly recommend that you grab the turn-based combat mod. And again, all these mods can be found on the Nexus, so just type in Google, type in Nexus and Pathfinder and you'll find it. There's a bunch as well in there as well. Another one that sticks out as being something that gives me things that you don't have in the vanilla version of the game is Eldritch Arcana. This gives me some spells that you don't have. Nothing stellarly spectacular, but there's definitely stuff in here that you would appreciate. Knock spell being a fine example of one. Other stuff that we get though for Eldritch Arcana is we get meta magics that weren't implemented in the game. You have some, but not all of them, and this doesn't get all of them either, but it gets quite a few, and it's pretty badass. And then like we get feats that you don't have access to, not a bunch, but there's a few. And then also, and this is my favorite part, you can get traits using the Eldritch Arcana mod, which you can't do in the vanilla version of the game. Traits are how I actually made my undead character. So again, you can't do it with the vanilla version. That's why I say it's a custom build. There's other stuff besides, but we'll get into that if I ever really need them. But let's get back to our game, shall we? Now, yesterday I was having issues with the video dropping, so just be aware that if you see some stuttering in this one, it's probably because I had to cut and paste like I did in the last video, which is a damn shame. I don't know why it happened yesterday, but I was constantly getting the game, constantly saying, hey, we've recorded everything you've done. Yeah, but I didn't say stop, so I had to literally start it back up again in mid-combat sometimes. So again, thank God it's turn-based because it's paused, but it's one of those where it was very annoying. So I do apologize for that, but I don't know what's causing that. So it could happen again is my point. Maybe it was just I was playing the game too much yesterday, and I did play for several hours, so that could be part of it. I don't think so though, but well, maybe it was a little warm in here yesterday and I just didn't realize it. Let's see, what do we have? We are at Varnhold. Now we're at the Varnhold stockade. We're trying to figure out what happened to Varnhold. And remember, we had a crow that was following us around that was being a straight up douche. And we don't know why it was following us per se, but it's definitely on the creepy side. Since I'm anticipating trouble, I'm going to start making sure I have some buffage beyond the normal craptastic stuff. Jubilost. Get yourself back, sir. Get your other mutagen. Another way, reason I love traits is I have 2 mutagens per day with Jubilost now, whereas normally I only have 1. So again, we have vast differences in my build because of stuff like this. Jubilost is just buffed to the nines. Let's get a little fear out, because why not? So we got Remove Fear, is that AoE protection spell. Freedom of movement I don't anticipate being a problem, but if anyone ever attacks us with stuff, it's usually acid or fire, I find. Doesn't mean it's the only thing. So I'm going to fire one off on him. Jubilost has one too, so let's just have him do the acid. So that's a nice 1-2 combo. Again, I still have other buffs besides that I can be slapping on teams. Like I have haste, displacement. She has self buffs like her teammate buff, like a weapon of awe, which is a solid weapon upgrade. Matter of fact, you know what? She never gets fun stuff. Let's see if this actually works for her. This is a doesn't show up on the list, so I wonder if it shows it as a buff. Weapon of awe. Okay, so it is on there. All right, so that's the thing. And I never use her divine favor. I really need to start doing that. Same with divine power. Those are cleric type spells. So again, this is an inquisitor. They're kind of like a spontaneous cleric, watered down version, if you will. Which is one of the reasons I love them. I love spontaneous casters more than I like prepared casters. And again, it's weird because I am a prepared caster with Dora. And you may be like, well, how can you justify that? Well, because Dora's a badass, and that's how I justify that. But part of it is also I like trying something different. And he, being able to prepare his spells from a list, makes him particularly interesting. Now here is Proto Lich. This is our undead, as you can see, with a half a face. She has Necromancy as her school of focus. She's extra specially trained in. Matter of fact, as I haven't done this in a while, let's actually show you some stuff here. You'll see that she has spell focus necromancy. She also has mage tattoos. Again, something that I have in my game that you don't in the vanilla version. So this is a new feat. Amazing buff here. What this does is if you have a spell focus in any school, you get a mage tattoo in that same school as a feat, and then any spell you cast from that school gets a +1 to its caster level. So she's caster level 12 for everything, 13 for necromancy. You see that? So this allows her to do more with her necromancy spells a little bit earlier. And it's, again, a little kick in the ass, if you will, especially if you grab them early on. My character did the evocation school, because that's the most common spells you get as a sword saint. So I figured if I'm going to damage stuff, why not be good at it? And he capitalized on that certainly early in the game. Anyway, back to Proto Lich. So she's undead. As such, we also gave her another feat. So she has all the trappings of the undead. So she literally, if you look at her sheet again, see how she doesn't have a con stat. Her charisma replaces her con as an undead character. So that's an amazing boost for her. Downside is, while the charisma bonus that she has goes towards her fortitude and her hit points, which is, again, pretty stellar. She's at the same hit points as me, and she's more than our tank. So she's pretty tough when it comes to stuff like that. The downside is you see that she's wearing a golden thread. This is an enhancement headpiece that gives her more charisma. That does not give her more hit points, and it does not give her more fortitude. So if you see the undead creature +3, that's coming from her innate charisma 16. That's the +3, okay? So that's a bummer. So best undead character you can make would be someone that maxes charisma. Now there's sorcerers that do that. There are Elder Scions are charisma based. You could also do, I think there's a Scale Fist Monk, matter of fact, that they're charisma based. And again, a Dex charisma based undead monk would be pretty badass and huge protection as well as massive hit points. And that's the goal, right? So for the Elder Scion and the sorcerer that are charisma based, the reason you'd want those to be undead would be massive spells and massive hit points. So not anything in the way of protection, but you have a ton of spells. Your DC checks are huge, and again, crap ton of hit points. And again, with the Elder Scion, you get to wear armor, so baller, right? And then of course you have all the other little fiddly bits of being the undead, like immune to poisons and disease and just all kinds of random shit. Downside is that you're undead, so you can't be healed traditionally. You can get healed though by inflict wound spells, and inflict wound potions and scrolls and wands, things of this nature. So she doesn't have that ability. Again, a bad idea for her. And there really isn't a good choice, I don't think, for any of those monk, sorcerer, or Elder Scions that have inflict spells on them, which is kind of a drag. So you have to rely on scrolls, potions, wands, or another teammate, which again, we have a teammate that can do that. But back to our battle. Proto Lich. We have a Ferocious Warg, Alpha Warg, and a Ferocious Warg. I don't think these guys are anything really to worry about per se, but they are annoying. So let's do a little sneak attack damage on this fool. He hasn't acted yet. Oh, he has acted yet. But he hasn't. She's not going to get there fast enough. Alright, let's not do that then. Let's do... Oh, here's a trick we haven't done in like a billion years. Oh, so now you see we have... I should point out... where is it? Where is it? Oh, we don't have Oh no, never mind. Let's not use that trick. I thought we had delay poison on our team. So I've used his. And I've used his. Damn it. Okay. I have hers. But she's a ways away from being able to activate it. And Tristan and Ju will also get screwed. Well, no, screw it. I think we can do this. Let's give it a go. We're going to do this. Now, it's going to affect me, maybe. I made my fortitude save, so that's some good news. Looks like everybody did, too. But they may not... Oh, he didn't. He's got the little stank cloud around his face. You see that? The little green or yellowish aura with the dots spinning off him. He has been nauseated, which is what this spell does. And it straight up screws the target. Now, she's immune to this effect, which again is to her benefit. But no one else on the team is without something like a spell. Now, I could just get it from Tristan. Get the spell back by Bonded Holy Symbol. He is a cleric, and it's a cleric that has the ability to resummon one spell a day. Which again, this could be it. And it could buff the team and protect me and everyone else from this poison. Because this is technically a poison check for a poison cloud. So, that's a viable option. But I don't really want to do that. I want to just blast stuff. I'm going to stay outside the cloud. Jubilost, he doesn't have the ability to recast stuff, and he already used it, so he's basically tapped, so to speak. He doesn't have much in the way of bombs left either, so we're going to have to take a knee here before too long. But we might as well unload on this prick. Get a little damage in at least. Now it's Eliza's turn, and she has this as a spontaneous caster, delay poison communal. So first make sure that everyone's within the circle. So we are. The whole team is buffed for an hour from poison. So even though I passed my check, it don't matter now. Now I'm fully protected from being in the cloud with the whole damn team. So just rush on in and have some fun. Alright. Now last person on our team's turn is Knock Knock. And let's see, can he actually sneak attack? He can charge. And he's immune to the cloud. So he managed to get sneak attack because I'm flanking him. So there's flanking rules in this game. So let's show you that real quick for those of you that are unfamiliar with this. Because again, if you just right click over on anything here in the combat log, you can like by a line you can say, oh, how much damage did he do? Oh, this is why he did the damage that he did. What was his attack check? And again, did he crit? Did he confirm the crit? All that stuff can be parceled out here. So he had a 24 bonus to his attack for that target. He rolled a 6 plus the 24, so he got an attack of 30. Against the target's 19. Screwed this guy over hugely. Knock Knock is kind of OP right now. So am I. Having said that, part of that's because Knock Knock's dexterous. He's using weapon finessing and therefore weapon finessable weapons. Notice he has Piranha Strike on. That gives him extra damage. We'll get to that in a moment. But he's getting a bonus to his charge. See that? The bonus to his charge lowers his armor class for 1 combat round. So he's under the effect of the charge, which means they can counter back easier on him. I'm not worried, but it's still a problem. Notice he also is getting circumstance bonus +2 for flanking. The flanking is because I'm standing right next to him facing the same target. Because of that, he gets a flanking bonus. And because he gets a flanking bonus, it's guaranteed to sneak attack. Unless, of course, they're immune to sneak attack, which is always a thing. But he did a solid damage on that guy. Dorraj's turn. Now that I'm up here and in their faces, okay, I can technically get 3 swings now. Notice that my Arcane Strike likes to shut itself off. So I turned that back on. That's because I activated my weapon before this fight, and that's a swift action which shuts this swift action off. And you can't reactivate it in the same combat round, because again, you only get 1 swift action. So it's back on. Remember, this is free damage. There's no reason not to want Arcane Strike. If you can get it on a tune, you should totally get it. There's all plus, no minus. But we're here and in their face, and I hate these guys, so what do we want to do to damage these fools? How about we do our Intensified, which is a meta magic feat, Shocking Grasp. Now this means, well, first let's actually look at my spellbook to give you an explanation. So here's Shocking Grasp, the normal version. Notice how it has the normal border. See the yellow border? I've added that. I've custom made this spell. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. The normal version of Shocking Grasp is a level 1 spell, and it does 1d6 of electric damage per caster level. So maximum of 5d6, which means maximum at caster level 5. 4 for me, because again I have that mage tattoo for evocation. Remember, that gives you a +1 caster level. So the 4 plus 1 for the mage tattoo, as this is an evocation spell. So again, I've maxed this out a long time ago. But 5d6 is all you can do. Well, Magus, like me, are capable of channeling touch attacks through their weapon. And the reason you do that is because it allows you to channel it in your weapon and swing, swing, swing like normal. So you get extra attacks, A, in one combat round, and B, if your weapon crits when it hits that first time, then it discharges the spell, and your spell crits. Only times 2, but it's basically a better chance of you critting, because touch attacks only crit on a nat 20. So basically what you do as a Magus, you want to have a weapon that has a high crit range, so that you have a more of a chance to crit with not just your weapon, but also with the spells that you channel through it. Having said that, I've intensified this spell. I'm going to show you how we do that. You go to your Meta Magic book here, click here, and you click Shocking Grass, and any Meta Magics you have that you can apply to it will stand up here. Okay, some will be grayed out. If they're grayed out, then you can't make them. But if you want this, you can just drag it down here, or you can double click it, and boom, it shows up down here. Now notice it's already telling you have one. You've color coded it yellow. You gave it a double border instead of a single border or a single border here. Again, the more meta magic you have, the more likely you are to employ these different color schemes or these different border schemes. How you set that up is on you. It doesn't impact anything. You don't even need a border, but it's kind of annoying to have it and not be able to differentiate it from the weak version. Because now what this one does with intensified meta magic, it increases the caster level by 1. I had a way around that. So again, it goes from spell level 1 plus 1 for the meta magic, so it should be spell level 2. I have something that will take any meta magic down 1 point. Just one meta magic. You can double up on meta magics, but you can't have both of them go down a point. So this goes down a 1, so it's a 1 plus a 1 minus a 1, so it still finishes at spell level 1. That's why I can cast this without any penalty and still be a level 1 casting. But what intensified meta magic does is it takes the caster level. See how it caps out at 5 caster levels? You can add 5 more caster levels to it. Again, assuming you have those caster levels, which I do. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So I could technically do 10d6 of damage with this spell. So that's why I'm using the bordered ones. Let's use it on this one because Knock Knock's going to kill that fool. Boom, there it is. And then I get a swing, and one more swing. Normally I get 3 swings in a round. But because I'm channeling through my weapon, it allows me 4. Because it's included. It's almost like 2-weapon fighting, if you want to think of it that way. One weapon is your spell, your other weapon is your sword, or whatever weapon you pick. And that's how Magus kind of kick ass, because they get to do a lot of attacks, special with Surge with that spells that they have for melee touch attacks. Makes them awesome. Alright, now here's Protolich. Excuse me. Here's Protolich, and I'm going to have her sneak attack this fool. Oh, sadly no. I forgot that they're not being flanked, only by me. And if you're going to shoot them, they have to be flanked by 2 people to get that sneak attack off. Okay. So now, Tristan doesn't have sneak attack, I don't think. We'll try it on this guy. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't have a chance to really hit them very well either. Jubilos has some sneak attack.
Primitives.
There it is. But again, that one can't be sneak attack because there's only one person flanking him. That doesn't count as flanking yet. So, Jubilos did his job. Eliza, forget if she has sneak attack. I think she does.
Take that!
Precision damage, not the same thing. If it said sneak attack, you would have known. Knock Knock, though, for instance.
Knock used to lighting enemies on fire.
See sneak attack pop off of me, and he's really good at sneak attack. He has a high sneak attack die, 88. He's really, really good with those weapons of his. Again, those fools. Okay. Oop, and we got a dead body. Remember, we were trying to figure out what happened to Varnhold, so far we see that wolves had something to do with it.
I do what I must.
Okay, so now we have a tree that we can interact with that's fallen down. Oops, and I see stuff. Want that. We have a tree that we can interact with and kind of teleport inside the base. But we're badasses. We don't teleport inside the base and sneak up on dudes anymore. We just straight up kill shit. So, we can avoid that.
Fight back. Best kind of fight.
Now, these are the guys we've been fighting in the last episode, the Spriggans. They actually are gnomes, I want to say, but they have special abilities that make them big. So, again, if you want to look at them, you can click this little button here that says Inspect. hover over the cursor here. See when it says Spriggan Raider? Do a right click, and now you can actually scroll through this stuff. So we know that they're chaotic evil, or this one is anyway. Chaotic evil. That's important because sometimes you have spells and buffs and whatever that protect you from chaotic or evil, or help damage chaotic or evil targets. So again, this is information you might want. Notice that this one in particular, the Raider, which I think they're both the same thing, are humanoid fighters, 4 and 4, so they're technically an 8-level monster. Now again, that's important because some spells have a HD cap, like they can only affect up to 4 HD of monsters. So these guys would be straight up immune to that spell, like a sleep spell, for instance, is what I'm thinking of. Notice they have perception, athletics, trickery, who cares, XP, again, who cares, HP, there are 8 hit points with this, and the real important stuff is this right here, in my opinion. How much damage do they take before I kill them? How easy is it going to be for me to shoot them, whether it's with a bow, with a touch attack, or a raise spell, that's this guy here. If I catch them flat-footed like we have right now, they're at a 17. Again, if I go to touch attack, it's going to be a 16. It's going to be even easier to hit them. And actually, it'll be less than 16 because they're flat-footed and it's a touch attack, which means they lose all their dodge, all their dexterity bonus, which is considerable. As you can see, dex of 23. So you have a really good chance of smacking these guys around before they engage us. Then notice that we have fortitude, will, and reflex saves. So the way the saves work for your spells or your abilities is this: they make the check, usually nothing happens, or they take less damage. It has a less of effect or no effect. The save or suck phenomenon. Now, for fortitude, will, and reflex saves, clearly these guys are tough against fortitude. That's like our poison cloud. That's a fortitude check. Now that doesn't mean it won't work on them. It's a persistent cloud. It'll stand there and for a long period of time. Eventually they'll fail a check and they'll be puking their guts out. Again, great, but can we rely on that in this combat? Probably no. So what do? Well, it looks like they're really susceptible to will effects. Do we have any spells that are will effects? Those are like enchantments. Here's one. This one doesn't even have a DC check to it because it's an automatic effect. So what we're going to do, we're going to march allies out here. A bit more. And we're going to fire off a prayer spell. See how they got debuffed? We all got buffed. That's an amazing ability for us. Dorraj's turn. And have him come all the way over here and get up on this guy. Yeah, with a big mighty crit. Jubilos, just straight shoot this fool.
Will they ever learn?
Big attack. Got that. Getting it. Go get it. Juby. Right. Oh no. So this is how I say when they go big. And these are rogues and a skilled crossbowman so they're going to be clearly different for their abilities. Proto can sneak attack this fool now because again I have 2 people flanking him. Because of that, this is how this differs from pen and paper Pathfinder. Because of that, she gets sneak attack with her ranged weapons. That's awesome. I can do this with cantrips. I can do it with a spell. And again, they have armor-wise, let's see, a dex of 23. That's basically a +6 to their armor, more or less. Oh yeah, they got a 22. Yeah. So her shooting them, she could probably shoot them with the crossbow, and she'll get 2 shots off, and that's awesome. But the touch attack, as you can see, is really low. So I can beam this son of a bitch like this with 3 beams and have 1, 2, or 3 beams hopefully hit him and get sneak attack on all those beams. He's gonna die. Dunk that fool. And then we have time to move way the hell over here, reposition ourselves so we can shoot at these jackasses. Now Tristan, he's a little different. Remember, he's a cleric, and as such, he's not even a battle cleric per se. He's more of a caster type, because of the type of cleric that he picked. So he can get screwed over in the fact that if you look at him, he doesn't have much for attack bonus. And hell, I'm even giving him oh, that's actually a much worse crossbow than I thought it was. I thought it was a +4. That explains a lot. Okay. Anyway, point is, he's not going to hit a lot of stuff. But remember, these guys are different, so we need to check on their will saves. This guy's will save straight up sucks. It's a +2, as you can see, right, over in the corner. So Tristan has this wonderful ability called Whole Person. And these guys are technically people, so we have a pretty good shot at landing this. Let's give it a go. Bastard made it. Of course he did. Well, he rolled well. I mean, you got to give him that. He rolled well. He needed a 14 or higher, and that's still a pretty good chance that we would have got the guy. But, you know, that's the downside of those save or suck spells. They work or they don't. So Tristan is done with his turn. Knock, knock on the other hand. He's not going to be able to get into any of this fighting. Not this combat round. He's way over here. We want to pull him up front because he is a rogue. And rogues have this unique feature in that once they get to a high enough level, which Knock Knock certainly is, and probably this guy too, the sneak attack doesn't work on you from another rogue of a lesser rank than you. That's beautiful. I mean, that's like literally like I'm immune to sneak attack for rogues level 14 or lower with Knock Knock because he's level 15. That's awesome. So, what do I usually do for a fight like this? Well, this is our Inquisitor. Here are a bunch of pets that she can summon. They change every so often. Oh, and what I mean is, let me show it to you under the class skill. At level 1 Inquisitor, she can summon monster 1, basically, multiple times a day. Then it becomes level 1 or level 2. Then it becomes level 1, 2, or 3, 2, 3, or 4, 3, 4, or 5, 4, or 5, or 6, you get the idea. So eventually she's going to get all the way up to 7, 8, and 9. Now the reason it's 3 categories, right? Why would you pick the lesser ones if you can have the better one? Well, okay, so here's how it works. So for the highest category you can cast, in this case level 6, she can only summon one of those. For the category below it, that she can still summon, level 5, she can summon 1d3 of them. For the category below that, the third lowest category, she can do 1d4 plus 1 of them. Normally. Why do I say normally? We've given her a feat that allows her to not only increase the strength and the con of all her summons, but also another feat that gives her the ability to summon more than one. So, an extra one. And the only way that works is if you summon something that's multiple. So this one here is multiples, 1d4 plus 1 dire wolves, and then you could add another one on top of that. Same with this here, the red caps, or the Bralani Azada, which she's not evil, and therefore she has to have the Bralani Azadas. If you're an evil caster, you get the red caps. She can summon 1d3 plus 1, because again, it's a range. So minimum of 2, maximum of 4 is my point here. Now here's the fun part. For this guy here, the Soul Leader, which again is if you're evil, she is not, or the Axiomite, which she is, good or neutral, and therefore she gets the Axiomite, she can only summon 1. She doesn't get 1 plus 1, because it's not a range. You see that? So the feat is specific to multiples, not singles. So that feat doesn't do her any good, for example, against summon elementals, because when you summon an elemental, you always only summon 1 at a time. So again, that wouldn't benefit them. But the other feat she has, the one that buffs their strength and their con, that would work. So again, there's reasons for her to want those spells, but we're not going that route. But I normally summon like the wolves or the red caps. So let's actually get the wolves in here and have some fun. Boom! You got a bunch of wolves on your face, jerk.
Do
She's
not
gonna come up here
hold
just
back.
to help flank them. Oh, just tear his face off. So now Dorraj's having an issue because see, Dorraj can't get to him, right? So that's a problem. But that doesn't mean there's nothing I can do. I can cast a stink bomb back here. I could do a slow spell. I can get 2 of them with a slow spell. Give it a go. Got that one. He made his check. But that guy slowed down, and that's awesome. And then I'm going to have him move up to here just to be closer.
Don't hold back!
Juby, you need to come over here, Broseph. And why don't you start throwing bombs on this fool? I don't like him. That'll work. Bombs, by the way, are touch attacks. So it's easier to hit with bombs. 9 times out of 10. Proto Lich, you're coming over here.
Run
Sneak
them
attack on that
through.
guy. No. They're not flanked and they weren't flat-footed. So, no surprise. Tristan, you move up here. And spell-wise, you have that one, this one, just out of range. Can you get through it all? Oh, you can. Okay. Hey, here we go. Now, this one's already slowed, so let's actually leave him for last out of these two so we can take out the guy that's not penalized yet. There you go. 14 damage, you loser. Knock, knock. Can you get through this mess? Can, but you're still slow. Eliza can get through now. And now, see, here's the problem. If I were to move to this guy, that's all she would do. She can't attack him. So you see her circle, her radius of influence for the weapon she's using, which is her size. This is the range of her side. So this circle, I think, has to touch his circle, is how that works. So she can step closer, but then her turn's over, so she can't attack this round with her weapon. However, she can attack with spells. Now I can do another summons, but usually the summons make the other summons disappear, just so we're clear on that. Not that that's a bad thing, I'm just saying. Sometimes you just need to do something else. We can do a prayer again, which again, we have the buff on us here for another 54 seconds, so I don't need the prayer for myself or my team, but it would penalize these two idiots guaranteed, unless they're somehow immune to the effect. There's no saving throw against it. I can have spells though that can damage at range, so I can scream at them, or I can do the same thing that Tristan did, which is called Bone Shaker. Do that. 12 damage. Taking it. Puppies are going to come in now, rush them. We can't control them, is the only real downside of this. You can only cast them near a bad guy and hope that they get the right idea of, hey, we should probably go kill that bad guy. Because they'll just do whatever the hell they want. Like you see, we split them up without even meaning to. Jubilos is ready to rock and roll.
A fine use of my talents.
And very nice. Now something to point out there. Notice that guy was prone. Okay, he was down, knocked down thanks to the wolves. They tripped him. Notice because he's prone, he gets a bonus to ranged attacks. That includes touch attacks, like his bombs. It's harder to hit them because they're lying down, I guess. I don't understand that logic. But the weird part is, if he was being attacked with a melee attack, instead of a +4, it's easier to hit him. So you do a -4 you'd have here for his armor class, and it would say prone. So again, when they're knocked down, melee the shit out of them, and try not to range them. And there's no real choice here because Jubilos does not melee, period. So that's that fight.
I'm losing my temper.
Yeah, you are. Let me shut that off. I'm just going to take the stuff that I actually give a damn about, the potions and whatnot. We'll clean everything out before too long. Don't worry about that. I'm a roaming bandit, murderous bastards that like to steal from people. So that's always going to be a thing. But for weight purposes, and weight is a consideration in this game, I want to make sure that we're lean and mean, so to speak. Now I can actually sneak attack this guy. Why? Because you see he's on the lower end of the totem pole. He hasn't acted yet. See that? So he's a surprise. I can do the same with this doofus over here. Again, he's on the totem pole lower end. So I can sneak attack any of these dudes right now. Boom. Solid 53 damage and a -2 to his strength. Knock Knock has a really good ability that lowers their strength with every sneak attack hit. Dorraj's turn. My weapon's all buffed up. Might as well just help him finish this fool off, right? He reduced some damage. If you press the space bar, pause it. You don't need to pause because, again, we're turn-based. But if you pause it, it pops up their health. So we can see how close to death this guy is. He's at full strength. And you can also see what he's doing. He's getting ready to cast some kind of buff. Chances are that's the icon for the get real big buff that they do to themselves, which is fine. It's just he's going to hit and hit hard at that point. So we really need to start taking these guys out. So, again, Eliza can come over here and attack, but she's only going to do, like, minimal damage, really. Almost want to. Oh, I can activate her Bane weapon, though. Let's do that. So she has a Bane ability that's a toggle. See that? Every round, it burns up a thing. So we've already burned up one, activating it for this round. She attacks with it. She gets a +2 to her swing. If she swings, AI is buggy. And then she does 2d6 of damage extra for her hit. Jubilos, don't waste that. Start wheeling on this guy. Nice. Sneak attack every time. Love it. Oh, that guy tried to cleave. You see that? You swung at the wrong person, Sunshine. Not gonna work. Alright, Knock Knock.
Stab you. Which knife to use?
Knock Knock's our little token goblin bass ass. He's big.
Hear you
Awesome.
cry.
Sneak attack. Sneak attack. In the face. In the face. Tristan.
You forced my hand.
I mean, he doesn't do a good job hitting, so when he actually does hit, I'm usually amazed. Dorraj.
This will hurt.
There we go. And the potions. I have a buff that I've been meaning to give Knock Knock. Extra strength. Not that he really needs it all that much, but he is overweight, and as such, he moves a little slower, I think.
Follow if you dare.
This, by the way, would have been where they would have ported us in if we would have climbed the log and landed into here, like into the hay pail. We've been right on top of those dudes. They would have mugged us. I didn't know that, but without seeing into the camp, why would you do that to yourself? You know what I mean? So, There was another way in. The front gate was open. No reason not to take the front gate.
Cut them to pieces!
Hey. Oh, hell. We got a lot of dudes. Oh, we got spied on by the tower. That was my fault. Alright. Knock, knock. Can you get up here and get to these
used to
fools?
lighting enemies on fire first. Be easier if you not fight back.
So I'll get behind them so that I can send another person over there. Then help them flank. So we get some sneak attack love in. Maybe I'll just summon some pets up there or something. Juby. We're getting bum rushed here, bro. Time to knock some dudes on their ass. His force bombs, which are these ones, do force damage. That's not as much as the other bombs as far as damage is concerned, but they have a chance for knockdown, which is what you just saw there. That's why we love Jubilost. Dora.
You should have
Up
run!
here too, Sunshine.
Strike!
He's not going to get to swing this combat round because it took full 2 turns, 2 movements to get up there. Even if it's a partial 2.
We shall overcome.
I'll just finish that guy off. Very nice. So he's going to stay in here. Dogs are going to come up and just do whatever. See, I'm surprised I didn't go for any of those fools over there, but I guess these guys are technically closer. Proto can sneak attack now.
Die! Out of my way!
Shoot him, you idiot. Or never mind. Don't bother doing damage, I guess. I guess line of sight was the thing. As such, then let's do this over here. So you see these guys are getting ready to bum rush us, right? Crossbowmen and a stricken fighter and probably someone else back over there. So, Tristan has a wonderful ability. Spell allows him to summon the undead. Animate dead spell. Boom. Now we have a front line protecting us from that side. Again, combat tactics that you probably would be able to employ easily if you're just doing the real time with pause. So this would be everyone active, everyone at once. And it's a mess. Ooh, we got him from just attacks of opportunity.
Come here, Bax. Not stab you.
Oh, he can. He did. He did. Alright, time to bounce out this way now. Juby.
Will they ever learn?
I'm going to delay his turn past the direwolves because they're in the goddamn way on that ladder. But Eliza can move and get over here. Now again, she can't reach him without wasting her turn. But she can attack with spells. Or she has these cool abilities. These are runes. These runes allow her to literally put out like a trap, so to speak, that does either fire damage, electric, cold, or acid, the 4 elements. And again, they're tied together, so you see that they're all the same number. But if you cast it where someone's already standing, guess what? It automatically goes off. So I call them bombs, but they're not bombs. And they're not bomb damage either. They're pretty lame. Straight up 1d6 plus 5. The plus 5, I think, comes from her wisdom modifier, which is pretty good, but not as good as it could be. So again, it's not amazing damage. But these things have no spell resistance problems, and there's no save, I don't think, for these either to lessen the damage. It's straight up 1d6. Oh, no, sorry, it's plus 1 point for every 2 levels. That has nothing to do with her wisdom. Okay. So at level 20, she'd have a plus 10, but she's not going to go all the way to 20 because she has 1 level dip in monk. So the best you can get is like plus 9. But again, it's automatic damage unless they just happen to be immune to fire, cold, acid, or electric, whichever she casts. But sometimes it's just enough to take them out, and that's all I usually care about and stuff like that. It's like, well, at least it did its job, damaging 1 or more guys. And it can hit more than 1 guy if they just happen to be close enough together. I've managed to hit like up to 4 dudes with that thing. Proto, you can sneak attack now, right? There you go. Oops. So you can see the little haze that was on his chest. The haze on his... How the hell did you get up there, dude? The little haze that was on his chest was a penalty that she employs on them. Kind of like knock, 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 knock. I think I have him set up for minus armor. No, minus attack rolls. Her attack is a minus armor. Anytime she sneak attacks, she lowers their armor by 2. Anytime he sneak attacks, he lowers their ability to hit us by 2. So it's a synergy thing going on.
I did it.
I don't know that I can't have both of them do minus armor, because if they did, that'd be a minus 2 and a minus 2. That'd be a minus 4. It'd make it super easy for the team to hit them. But I don't know that that's a thing, so I wanted to spread it out. And again, I'd rather have, little column A, little column B kind of thing, right? So the fact that we don't have to worry about them hitting us for at least 2 points worth of surrender
Here you
is
crawl.
beneficial to the whole team. The fact that the whole team has a better chance of hitting them thanks to the -2 to their armor class is beneficial to the whole team. So either way I go, I'm happy. Alright, knock knock. He can sneak attack this guy because again he's not low on the totem pole, so let's give it a go.
Me see, me keep.
Oh hell yeah, knock knock. Critical hit with the sneak attack. This did huge damage. Love this little guy. Tristan's turn. Since he sucks, I'm gonna have him just come a little forward.
I'll
and shoot
try
this
to make
dude.
this swift.
Hey, managed to do something. Dorraj's turn. And again, I can charge. I can also cast a spell and charge, I believe.
Go on.
Just like that. So we managed to take out their front 2 guys immediately. See that? Come over here. Did she shoot him?
Die.
Apparently no. But she also has summons of her own. Remember, she has the skeletons. So how about she just puts some skeletons right the hell up there? And now they're immediately flanked. Or at least one of them is. Liza. Up here. Just scream at this fool. Yeah, you can't do it. Not good enough. So you're going to have to come up the ladder. Alright. Doggos are in the way of each other. Juby.
A fine use of my talents.
Yeah, they won't let him up there. Alright. Oh, tactical opportunity. Not can get up here. But again, I don't think he'll be able to get there in one combat
Which
round.
knife
Yeah,
to use?
he's just too far away. Tristan, move up.
So it's come to this.
And again, no one can shoot at the upper guys like that. That's kind of straight suck.
Don't hold back!
You get up here though? Aha!
This
Get up
will
to the top.
hurt!
Not that the skeletons wouldn't have done their job. I'm fairly certain they would have.
Out of my way.
And you get at least one shot off on them. There we go. Yeah, be my meat shield. Well, not meat. Bone. Be my bone shield. We can do these bombs now. The bombs don't hurt your team either, by the way. So I can cast it and have their circles light up and it doesn't do a damn thing to them. So that's at least helpful. Okay. What are we doing here, guys? Come on now. It's the only downside of summoning pets like this when you have so many on the battlefield, they just take a lot of time away. That isn't
A
necessary.
clever ploy.
Nice sneak attack, buddy. Getting good amount of potions. Nothing else up here that I care about anyway. Here, just grab this, and oh, someone had syrup. Someone had sweet tooth. Alright, so I think we're done outside. Oh, wait, I take that
In
back.
due time.
See the perception check? It's letting you know to check something out here. So I did a quick save so we can scum it.
I have managed.
But we got the check, and it says, at the bottom of the well, half hidden underwater, lies a broken bucket tied to a piece of rope and a dead spriggan with a broken neck. Oh, hell. Apparently they're fighting peoples.
I'm there.
Alright. Looks like a fire pit. Anything over here? Just looking for other things like another check. Doesn't appear to be. Okay, quick save, going inside now.
Stand
We can
with
assume
me.
we'll have more. Sure enough. Size alteration. Alright, Elias is first. We got a large number of guys here, and again, you can see that our prayer buff has more office. Let's have her come up here. Prayer spell. Buffed us and debuffed them.
Attack!
Dora.
You should have
Go ahead and
run!
strip this attack.
This wound! My gift
Solid
to
hit, sunshine.
you!
Proto.
Run
Sneak
them
attack that fool.
through.
Nice. Scatter people around in case they start throwing like bombs or something on us. Knock's turn.
Not used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Yeah, the reason he can sneak attack him is because she's within range. See that? So even though she's not physically engaging him by looking at him, the circles intertwine, so she could have swung at him. That's why it's flanking. Juby. We're low on bombs, right? So let's save those things and just sneak
Primitives.
attack these fools. It ain't epic damage, but I'll take it. And now we have Tristan's turn.
Repent.
For us. Now, Liza's turn.
Strike
She's a monk.
as one.
Using a monk weapon allows her to do a flurry of blows. So she actually gets, if you look at the swing, no, where'd it go? Yeah, there we go. 2 out of 3. So she has 3 attacks around. The first 2 are her flurry of blows, which means they swing at the full base attack bonus. Then she has another attack because she's high enough level that she gets 2. Well, because of flurry of blows, now again, like I said, she gets 3. If I had haste on her, she could technically get 4 attacks in a combat round. She has to be standing right next to you damn near to do it. But so what? Once you can do it, it's amazeballs. I have a slow spell. Fire off here to catch these fools.
Strike!
I'll move up here. I can't attack, but I can get in their face. That allows me to do attacks of opportunity. I'm going to have you delay past knock kill. Reason for that is
Be
not
easier
right
if you
field.
not fight back.
Get up in their
Come here,
face and give me
Bax.
some sneak
Not gonna
attack love.
stab you. Which knife to use?
Like so. So now these 2 are actually engaging him.
Let's hear
I
you
should be able to sneak
cry.
attack him now. There you go. Got him once. Juba lost. 5-foot stutter step this way.
Will they ever learn?
1, 2, 3. Nice. Juby. You can pause the game just to see how low his health is. He's about dead. So Tristan, if he gives him so much as probably a love tap, he'd be fine. But Tristan sucks at shooting. But he does have spells. Let's give a beam attack to see if that gives him any chance. There it is. Coming out cold. Eliza.
We shall overcome.
Stabby, stabby. See the boogeyman effect on him? That came from a robe she's wearing. Magical robe. Basically terrifying the son of a bitch. And he is freaking straight out. So he, not only did she pass his check, but she probably passed it by leaps and bounds. So he's probably not just scared. He's probably frightened or panicked. If he's panicked when it's his turn, he will do everything he can to flee, which means he's going to run around like a chicken with his head cut off. Which we'll capitalize on with like attacks of opportunity, but we're going to finish him off. So it ain't really a thing. But the point is that you get some of those cool interactions going, and it makes fights really trivial. And I've set up my characters in a way that allows me to do stuff like that.
Follow if you dare.
Ew.
Shiny thing.
Now, in your game, this is a trap. In your game, you probably by default have it set to when anytime someone on your team spots a trap, the game pauses. It gives you a chance to react to it. You can shut that off. I have done so because, again, someone in the Reddit post was whining about how everyone's like, I beat the game on unfair difficulty. It was a cakewalk. And the guy chimed back in and said, yeah, but I bet you had pause on anytime someone spotted a trap. And it's kind of right, he or she is kind of right. Because it's one of those where just because one person saw the trap doesn't mean everyone has a chance to react to it. So again, I have to be paying attention to make sure my team stops on a dime. Again, I can click somewhere else like I did to make him go somewhere else. I can hit this button to make him hold up in place. I can press the space bar to pause the game. But I have to be paying attention. So if I get lazy, you'll be surprised how often I get hit with a trap just because I'm not fast enough on the draw, so to speak, to make sure that my whole team stops moving like dumbasses. So, on you how to set that up, and I'm not going to tell you how to play your game. But again, know that that is a thing that you have that's probably
Did
different
it
than me as
without
well.
breaking it.
Rob him.
I'll take care of it. I do what I must.
I want that. There's I'm anticipating more traps, yeah, so I'm being careful here. There are items that can be crafted in the game for you from busted old pieces of shit. That's one of those busted old pieces of shit. So if you get enough of those pieces of shit, then the guy at your base will be like, hey, I know what this is, and I can reforge it for you, or recraft it, or whatever. So we want to grab all those ancient scraps of covered leather that we could find. And the good news is, while it used to be that they would give you like only enough to do what you needed to do, which straight up sucks ass. But, having said that, I'm going to buff up just a little bit more here. Having said that, the devs realized that people probably hate the idea of having to only find the 10 pieces. So they made it like 11 or 12 pieces out in the real world. You still only need 10, so you'll have extras sometime. When you have extras and you've already crafted the item, just sell the extra scraps. You can't use them for anything else. Just chuck them, sell them. Someone will give you like $100 for them. Hey, I'll take it. Looks like we found some peeps. We're going to delay your turn. Get the people out of the doorway. Sucks because of this. Means they get a free swing at us, but it's okay. Dorraj can charge and do his thing. Say this fool way the hell back here. Yeah, take 59 damage, you bastard. Now we have lost our pets because once we came inside, we lost the skeletons. We lost her summons. Now let's summon something different. How about we get the Relani Azaz? Okay, no, those guys are crazy. Actually, there's only one of them, so it's probably easier for us to control that doofus. I'm going to come over here and rush this guy so we can get into his grill. Now, the Axiomite is a pretty little badass. First, let's take a look at what he actually did there. So he has a base attack bonus of 10. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not horrible for this level. And he has a +7 from his strength. So his strength is 24. So he's got a 24 strength. He's swinging pretty good. And he gets weapon focus in the longsword that they gave him. And another +1 because his longsword is probably magic. So he's swinging at a solid 19 on his first swing. And then his second swing would be 5 less than this. So 10 goes down to 5, which means this would be a 14. So that's a solid swing. He also, weirdly, has his own spells. So he has the ability to cast a lightning bolt. That's why he can be problematic. If we don't have lightning protection on the team, which we don't right now, he could fry our whole goddamn team just doing his job. Straight up sucks. Do velocity block this way. Can you shoot this fool?
Fine use of my talents.
Good job, dude. We gave him a crossbow that does electric damage, which is why you're seeing the little electric sparks fly off that guy. Let's have Proto step into the room. She can do sneak attack, remember, as well. But she has to have either a guy that's flat-footed, which is none of these guys right now, except for like this dude is way the hell back here. And these guys back here, I think. And she can't reach this guy. But she can hit him. And he's flat-footed still. And he's also flanked twice, so again, she should get sneak attack on him. Nice. So you see the aura that's on him? That came from her minus penalty. So again, helping the team out. Tristan, I just need you to be in the room, dude. We might need you to spot heal.
You forced my
Can't shoot
hand.
that rogue, though. Terrible shot, Tristan. Terrible. Just awful. He's not real good at this. Only shooting into combat. He does not have a feat. Okay, so when you're in combat, in melee combat with somebody, and someone else is trying to shoot that same target as yours, your teammate has to be extra careful because they don't want to shoot you, right? So what the devs did was said, okay, you're shooting into combat. Here's a -4 penalty to your swing because you're being extra careful. Well, there's a feat. If you get it, she has it, and it is called Precise Shot. It takes away the -4 penalty. Okay, so you can either be really good at shooting, or you can be really good at shooting and have Precise Shot. You see why most people go for Precise Shot, just to make sure they have it. The downside is, to get Precise Shot, you also need Point Blank Shot, which again, you want it anyway. But that's 2 feats that you now burned just to make sure that you can hit a target successfully at range. And if that's not going to be your cup of tea, well, then you really don't want to do that. I'm going to 5-foot stagger step to this guy. See that? Once I move 5 feet, I'll be within range of swinging at him, and I'll be able to swing 3 separate times.
This will hurt.
Boom. Eliza, she can't 5-foot stagger step. See that? I mean, she can. She won't reach anybody. Is the point? So there's no point in doing it. So she might as well just charge some fool or walk up to him and just stab him once and scare the shit out of him. These guys are real susceptible to the Boogeyman Rogue. Love that. Now we have a problem. This fool is going to cast a lightning bolt spell. You see, he's already charging that shit up. So you already know what he's going to do in the next combat round, which means he's probably going to fry this bastard, which means we're in a line with him. So either we A, need to get the fuck away, or B, just kill him. It's probably the better option. And then he'll switch targets to this fool, and no one's near this guy, so that works out okay. QB. In from distance, staying away from our idiot guy over here. She 5-foot stutter step might put her within range. Let's hope so. She
Out
can
of
hit him.
my way!
Boom. Well, the reason for that is she gets to shoot twice because she gets her full attack. So you can do a 5-foot stutter step and still get your full swing in the combat round on any combat round except for sometimes the first one, because the first one, if you don't see 3 circles up here, then you got a surprise round. Surprise round means movement and or attack. So basically you get to move and place your character where you need to be, or you can basically swing, and that's about all you get. You get like 1 attack. You don't get a full attack round. But normally you do. That's the 3 you saw here this guy just had. So here's his 3. So again, a full attack round. And again, 5-foot stutter step doesn't screw that up.
I'll try to make
So he'll
this
get 2
swift.
swings at the guy. He even managed to hit him once. Good job, Tristan. Ankle breaker has a special effect. His crossbow has a slow them down effect on him. All right, now question is, we have a guy that's at like half strength, right? But we also have an idiot that wants to cast a lightning bolt spell that could fry us. So if we're not careful, we get caught in that mess and start taking damage for no good goddamn reason. So I can either A, hope that me and Eliza, who are the next on the totem pole here, kill this guy, which we probably will, but we could miss. Or we could hit him just for just enough damage and not kill him. And then he fires off the electric bolt and kills him and damages us. Or what I can do instead is attack at range, or I can just delay my turn past that freak that's going to blast him with his little lightning bolt. So we're just going to delay past him. Reflex save, didn't take any damage. Now we wouldn't have done that. We're not that
Do
lucky.
not hold back.
Now, boom, bogeyman. My turn.
You should have run!
Boom. So again, we probably would have killed the guy, but I couldn't have guaranteed that shit. So again, planning ahead saves you a lot of grief. Now we have door 1 and door 2. I'm just going to click this one because I've been here before for 1 and I actually know
We
it's a
will
dead end.
prevail.
Bad guys. All right, here's Eliza. We'll move her over here.
We shall overcome.
Start scaring this dude. Oh hell, here comes this crap again. So you see, you got a zap for electric damage. I managed to hit him too. Alright, knock knock. Can you charge this fool? Yep, but you missed. Oof. Roll the crit 1, man. That's not the kind of crits we're hoping for there.
Ha! Primitive.
Okay, get out of the way. You really need to kill this guy.
Strike!
There we go. That Axiom might screws us with his spells. He only has like 1 or 2 castings of those things, so he can't like get spam happy crazy with it, but he is a straight up jerk with it, and he does not give no
Run
F's
them
about whether he's
through.
shooting at you and them or just them. So the fact you can't control your summons is, I guess, probably thematically makes sense, because it is a summons, it's not a
So it's come to
automaton
this.
direct, but it does suck. This guy got so scared he ran away. See that? Yeah, the little aura that's on him. She can just straight up bomb this fool from here. Can't quite get that guy, but if she did a 5-foot stutter step, I bet she could. See that? That's 21 damages from one little resummonable thing. Stop doing that! Hate this guy. Alright, not we need your help, bro. So
Come here,
Kill this
Bax. Not that stab you.
Juby. Tired of looking
Will
at this
they
guy.
ever learn?
Thank you, Juby. His bombs are just amazeballs. Dora can get off in
Don't
this guy's
hold
face.
back!
Really? I crit missed. He was flat-footed. I had a guaranteed hit as long as I didn't roll a 1. That's how bad that was. Uh-oh. People are getting shot at. You said you can shoot at my peeps.
Let's hear you
Hey, hold.
cry.
Take some crit damage, you bastard. Christian. Shoot this one.
Repent!
Wow, Christian. 2 damage. My thimble runneth over, buddy. Eliza. Get there, pokey
Attack!
pokey.
Eh?
Go!
He's frying the hell out of his own team, man. Now I can unsummon him, technically speaking, by summoning something different. But then this room is already clustered filled with stuff anyway. And the only other things that I can summon are either a crap ton of wolves, which is probably the way to go. Alternatively,
A fine use of my talents.
I can summon another thing like him that could cast more lightning. But I could place him in front of us. You see the point? So I could literally kind of control where that idiot goes.
This will hurt.
There we go. Now, we're clearly wounded. I want to, of course, loot the bodies. Check the room. These guys are just stockpile of potions, man. Loving this.
Dare.
What do you got back here? Okay. Like the outhouses, toilets, or some such.
There's something here.
Treasure. That's what we got. We got treasure, Brother Mutant. Click that thing, I want it. And click that bag, I want that too. And click that sack, I want that sack. Yay! Alright, camping supplies stuff. Well, not camping supplies, I shouldn't say it like that. It's food that we can use to cook and get a buff for our team. Something that they've added to this game, which I actually thought was pretty damn badass. So everyone can camp to get your spells back, but instead of just being straight up, I camp and then everything's over, we can A, get ambushed in the middle of the night, B, we can heal up while we're resting, if we still have heals left on the party, C, we can camouflage to hide from the bad guys, we can also have lookouts, we can also have special abilities. So for instance, some of the characters, like Jubilost, is really good at organizing the team, so when you camp out, it takes less time to camp. Which again is a benefit because there's a lot of things around a clock on this game. So again, pretty awesome. So we got bad guys in here. Proto, I want you to step here and shoot this fool. Sneak attack style. Remember, he's flat-footed right now in this initial combat round. Dora, you sir need to get up and in this guy's face.
And your end.
That'll work. Knock knock, bro. Wait, it's not knock knock, sir. It's Tristan's turn. Tristan. Buddy, you just straight come up here. Since you're a bad shot, we're going to get you in the room just so you can take a pot shot at
Forced
something.
my hand.
Hey, 8 damage. Jujubee, you need to come all the way up in here and do like Tristan and just take a pot shot
A
at something.
clever ploy.
So that guy's 2-weapon wielding in case you didn't notice. My turn. And since I don't want to have that axe, he might fry us from behind again because he's an idiot, remember? I'm going to do is summon the bastard right in front of us. Yeah. So the only thing he can blast is in front of us, then we don't have to worry about it.
Strike as one.
Knock, knock.
Knock knock used to lighting enemies on fire first. Be easier if you not fight back.
Proto, 5-foot stutter step into the room. Can you hit this
Out
bastard?
of my way.
Can. Pretty. Got him at least once. Dora's turn.
You should have run.
Help him out. Oh, I didn't do the stagger stutter step. So I only swung once because I had to take a tiniest step forward. If you don't say 5-foot step, it assumes that you really wanted to move. That means you're not getting a full attack. Okay, so again, that's my mistake. Tristan's standing still, so I can have him shoot twice. Once, twice. I managed to hit both times. Go Tristan. Jubilost, you might as well just unload this fool.
Primitives.
Let's sneak that good. Oh, wow. Juby.
Do not hold back.
Alright. And I'm going to do
We
Step to
shall
the side over here.
overcome.
I can. I do have a camera rotation mod that allows me to do this. So again, I can kind of plan things a little bit better. And recenter back once I'm done doing that. I just want to make sure that I was not in the range of his damn blast that you're about to see go off.
Come here, Bax. Knock knock stab you. Huh.
Wow, knock knock. We're getting a lot of critical misses today. Game hates us. Proto, you can hit this fool from where you're standing.
Through.
There you go. Dora, can you charge this idiot?
This spell works
You know, but
differently.
you can get all up in his grill. Swing at him once with a nice big 57.
Don't hold back. This will hurt.
Okay. Tristan.
So
Shoot
it's
this
come
fool.
to this.
Yeah, Tristan dunking people. You murderous cleric bastard. Taking all the potions. Again, we'll grab all the other gear when we're leaving.
I'm off.
But by and large, if it's, you know, money that I have, then I definitely want just the money stuff. So we got weapons. Great axe, great sword, short sword, club. It's always funny when they leave you behind stuff that you would never so much as touch at this level. Like, here's a shield. It's not magic in any way.
I do what I must.
Okay, see the giant bear statue? Rub his belly. And you open the secret door. So you don't have to walk around the long way. Quick save. Notice we've taken damage.
Something
We have a
bothering
healer here that can AoE heal. Now the downside is this. I have an undead on the team. Okay, she would actually take damage from this heal. However, Tristan has a special feat. It's called selective channeling. That allows him to only heal the team and not heal the bad guys. Because if the bad guys were within range, they would also heal them normally too. And the same reason for why it would damage my undead. But because he can only help out with that selective channeling, she will not take damage now. So if he activates this, it'll heal everyone but her. See that? Do it one more time, sir. Might as well be fully healed up for this next battle. She's taking damage, and again, the only way for her to get her health back is by using things like these inflict like wounds. Now, she's only wounded, she's got like 10 points of damage, so let's actually give Jubilost a potion. He is an alchemist, and as an alchemist, I've given him a feat that allows him to make his potions better. Okay, so if you have him drink this potion, he would take a decent amount of damage. That would be a bad idea. But if you click that button, you can go here, and then you basically pour it down the throat of someone else, and they still get the same buff that Jubilost would have gotten. So again, instead of it being a lame 1d8 plus 1 heal for her, it would actually be a 1d8 plus 5, because he can actually, quote-unquote, cast the potion spell at his caster level, which is like 10, 11, or 13. But you see how it says maximum plus 5 in the little pop-up tooltip? So again, the potion's normally level 1, so it's actually behaving like it's level 5 next to Jubilost. So again, that could have been much worse. So that was a guaranteed 5, so she rolled a 2 on that one. And again, if we probably look at this, it'll probably show that. It doesn't do that. But again, more than enough to get her close to where I wanted to be. So again, we'll quick save that mess, and now here's our last fight. In this area, anyway. A guy, the biggest brigand, scarred and beaten, bears his rotting teeth. I guess we can't rest even here. I bet you followed our trail from our very den. Forcing us from our home wasn't enough. Now you've come to finish us off. Well, a guy will not make this easy for you. Do we get a diplomacy check? Which we will pass unless we get like a 1. And even then, I don't know that we fail it. But diplomacy check, forced out of your home. What do you mean? Succeeded in the check. Very nice. Like you don't know, the cave to the north where I lived my entire life before your kind came. Enough. I'm done running. A guy swings his blade and utters a shrill battle cry as he charges you. Well, that's all the information we can get from these doofuses. Notice that we're surrounded. Ish. So we got a rogue here, a guy, stricken raider, crossbowman, another crossbowman, and I think that's it. Now that's not enough. But we can cause them some problems. Remember, we still have our delay poison thing on. I don't know if these guys have problems with poison or not. But let's find out, shall we? Looks like I managed to make a couple of them puke their guts out, and then while they're puking, they cannot attack. So we still have the rogue over here to deal with. Tristan, why don't you deal with him?
Repent! Sarenrae, be generous to them.
I was just kidding,
know.
Tristan, but good job, man. 25 damage on the first combat round. Eliza, why don't you go have some fun with this doofus too? Stabby, stabby.
Strike as one.
Making room so that Knock Knock can come over here and finish the doofus off. Proto.
Hear you cry.
Never mind, Knock Knock doesn't have to go there. Okay, so the boss is fine. Jubilost, you got 1 bomb left. I want it on him.
Learn?
Hey, that was luck.
A fine use of my talents.
Go ahead and try.
Yeah.
Strike!
Dorraj wasn't quite close enough. You see, he did the tiniest little stutter step. I should have literally done the 5-foot step just to prove it to myself. But I was being lazy. Let's just focus on the boss. Now Eliza can come over here and do the
Do
same
not
thing.
hold back.
I don't know what that unknown means, but that's weird. Proto.
Die!
Sneak attack. Another sneak attack. Loving that. Oh yeah, he got back up. And oh my god, he's got a big whirly googie thing. Holy shit.
A clever
Alright,
ploy.
Chibi, sneak attack this fool till he dies. Yeah. How's he doing? Ooh, he's tough, little sucker. I think the whole point here is we're not supposed to kill him officially. Yeah. A guy steps back, pressing his hand against his bleeding wounds. Well, you got me, he hisses through clenched teeth. Go on then, keep hounding us, push us back, clearly taking all we had wasn't enough. What are you on about? You attacked the citizens of Varnhold. You think me a fool? You attacked us in our own home, and now you follow us here to finish the job. How could we possibly bother anyone in an empty city? Are you saying the city was empty before you got here? Who cares? We arrived and no one else was here. We checked for traps, we checked for ambushes, nothing. Totally livable. Guy is silent a moment. If I knew you'd follow us, I'd have taken everyone even further away. Where are the locals? No clue. Eaten by someone? Just gone. They left their belongings behind, doors wide open. Anyone could walk in and take what they like. Requires a lawful alignment so we can do this one. I believe that you and your kin aren't to blame for the disappearance of Varnhold citizens. I'll let you leave in peace. Just tell me where your den is. Perhaps I could pay you a visit and help you get your home back. I'll do that. A guy stares at you, unblinking, then scoffs with contempt. A human wants to help? Sure, I'll be surprised if I'm still breathing when we're done. I bet you just want to fight our way in and take my cave for yourself. But what do I care? If I'm lucky, you'll both just kill each other. Find an old cave to the south. That's where you'll find the creeps who forced us out. And if you by some chance manage to kick them out of there, I'll know. Then we'll talk some more. 202 XP. Okay, so we have a quest for helping these guys find a home, or get their home back, I guess. Someone ran them out, and I don't think it's the citizens of Varnhold, so we have to go figure out what's going on over there. But that was pretty cool. Alright, so now I have a mod that allows this area of effect to go away. I just press L, and poof, the spells are gone. Even tells you that it removed it over here in the pop-up. Doesn't cost you a spell to get rid of it. I'll read that letter here in a moment.
I'm there.
The point is, we have a mod that will make that stuff go away. So first off, I want to get to this treasure chest. Quick save. Well, yeah, we'll take all whatever that is. Fallen Warrior's Boot. That's another. So there's not only other items that you can use to piece back together, make like a belt or a robe or whatever with the one guy's help back in your base, but there's also quest items that if you get all 4, 5, 10 of them, he'll tell you a kick-ass story. So this is the Fallen Warrior's Boot. You find all of those things, and chances are he'll tell you a story about the Fallen Warrior and all his buddies. It's very cool. I didn't get a lot of like XP and or gold for it too. Alright, so we got an unfinished letter from Mayor Varn and another letter. So let's actually read these things. So we go by date from newest to oldest. First, let's get our owlbear omelet. With an owlbear egg, a tenderloin, and milk, you can make yourself an owlbear omelet. Tasty, just like Mom used to make. This is the unfinished letter from Mayor Varn. Most Honorable Baron Dorraj. This was something he was writing to me. I am Baron Mayor Varn of Varnhold, and I am writing to inquire about the current state of affairs in your realm. I hope that no trouble or pestilence have found their way to your lands. Perhaps we could arrange a neighborly meeting soon to discuss things at your leisure, of course. I would also like to request your aid in a small matter. A few days back, an adventurer by the name of Willis Gunderson, this is a jackass that was in our village, retrieved a mysterious bracelet from one of the ancient ruins scattered across Dunsort. Gunderson kindly turned it over to my court wizard, Cephal, who continues to examine it as it lies on the table before me. It may be the most peculiar thing I have ever laid eyes on. The bracelet is covered in angular patterns that resemble a labyrinth, and it is adorned with an inscription of an unknown language. No learned man in Varnhold has been able to read this writing or deduce which culture the artifact belongs to. So I ask for your aid, please. If you have an archivist with deep knowledge of the history of this region, send them along to aid us in solving this mystery. I am sure that your capital has plenty of such learned men and women. Perhaps one of them will succeed in reading this inscription. Of course, I'll return to the Vorticai. So basically it goes batshit crazy at this point. And Vorticai apparently is important, is the take-home message here. Now, this is the other letter, and this is a letter with threats. Baron Major Varn, I am writing to you as your ally and well-wisher. The reason for my letter is the lack of foresight in your actions. You're trying so hard to become friends with this Baron from Bechuana. That's me. You invite him to pay you a visit. You assure him of sincerity. You even send rich gifts. Have you nothing more to do in your lands? I strongly recommend you stop flirting with this upstart person and turn your gaze to the affairs of the day. You are trying to cross the path with powerful forces that can reach you even in your own castle. You should know your place. With wishes of good health and calm sleep, your friend. Who the hell is that? I know who it is, but I'm not telling. We'll discover later, though. But that's pretty awesome. So that's basically this area. Now, again, quick save, quick check of the map. Again, do a tab to make sure that you haven't forgotten to activate something, or click a door or a table or some such to activate a trap. Who the hell knows? But now that we're done here, we can bounce out of here. And notice, when we finally get to the point where we clear the map, it should ask us, do you want to take all the treasure? We will. We'll dump it into the next room. Okay, here's the Raven I was telling you about in the last episode. The little jackass that was following us everywhere. So the Raven, you notice a huge blackbird sitting still on a high fence by the exit as if waiting for you. It's a raven, glistening black and one of the largest ravens you've ever seen. As you approach, it tilts its head and affixes you with a beady black eye. Look, fat, tasty featherbag, hit it with stone. As you're about to leave, you hear a cracked voice. Hypocrite. A raven that talks. Fat, tasty, talky featherbag? Throw a stone at it. So we can do a dexterity check with knock knock. If he gets a 9 or better, he'll actually hit the raven. Which I'm not going to do, but that'd be funny. Talking bird right in the middle of a mysteriously empty settlement. Are you behind what happened here? The raven ignores the question, only echoing his last word. Hypocrite. What's the point of your false pity for these fools who you allow to live? The raven gives a sharp caw, almost a bark. With no shelter, no family, no homeland, always on the run. All you did is prolong their suffering and take pride in your... The raven gives you another sharp caw, almost sneering. Chivalry. That's not true. A guy still has a chance for a fresh start. Miserable hypocrites, you seek to justify your actions. The raven gives a series of caws as if laughing. There is no justification. No, no, no. Why are you here? Are you one of the thieves that lived in this miserable settlement? Lawful neutral. I stole nothing. Except for all the shit that I stole. Liar! This settlement was full of thieves. They paid for their crimes. Now only a single one remains. You. Who are you? What do you want? What do you know about the vanishing of Varnhold? Only that people of this dusty village are thieves. Thieves and bandits who didn't respect the law and didn't know their place. Inferior beings don't dare touch that which belongs to their masters. Who are you? Not from Varnhold, but I will find out what happened here. You, the raven gives a short barking call. What arrogance, what pride. You thrall. Do not follow one crime with another. You will suffer the same fate. Who are you? I ain't telling him shit. He keeps asking my name. I don't trust him. I'm guessing you're new to these parts. Guess you're new to these parts if you still don't know who I am. Why don't you take the air and take to the air and ask around? Raven regards you for a moment. Finally, it flaps its wings and without a sound takes flight. Moments later, it is nothing more than a speck in the sky. Then it is gone. So, I did that on purpose because I know that it's a good idea not to tell them your name. But you could have deduced this yourself. Remember, you were talking with the was it the nymph, the dryad, whatever the hell she is, the lady of the bloom or whatever, the one that's been taunting us all this time, the green bitch. She tells us in our dream, remember we went to that other world place like out of nowhere, and she tells us that when we asked her for her name, she specifically would not tell us her name, and she warned us. She says that knowing someone's true name is still has consequences in this world. So again, you could have deduced that yourself. I had already known that it was going to be a problem, so again, I'm just like, I ain't telling you shit. So it's like a old college mate of mine used to say, 3 little words will save you every time. Deny, deny, deny. So we're going to take all this here loot be overweight.
Knock, knock, tired. Legs weak. Stomach empty.
Poor knock knock. We're going to drop everything out here, though. And like I said, I think, don't know this, but I think we can come back here after we take over Varnhold, and this pile of loot will still be here. So we're just going to leave the stuff that's not fancy. Like what? If we sort by price and descending like I normally do. So the expensive stuff's on top. The crappy stuff is on bottom. So just get rid of things that you know are heavy. But I got another trick. Watch this. Instead of just doing right click for all that shit, if you drop one or two things and then try to leave the zone again, it gives you this pop-up, hey, do you want to take this? No, but guess what? I can also leave stuff behind just by pointing at it. Speeds it up. See what I'm saying? Same with like this armor that I don't want. I mean, I'll sell it eventually if I can come back for it, sure. But this is all gutter trash stuff at this point. Don't get rid of stuff you want to keep, though. And you can see we're already underweight. Well, underweight enough that we can move. I'd like to get down into the mediums, though. Take that shield. Which means probably getting rid of great sword. The S-Stock's worth money. So you see the difference here is it's worth 13 gold, but it weighs 4 pounds. So I'd rather have stuff that weighs... Well, I guess we'd keep the great sword too because it's a positive. You're getting more gold for the weight, is my point. Look at these pelts. They're heavy, 28 pounds, but it's 70 gold. Clearly a win. But like these guys, 50 gold, but it's only 30 pounds. So again, chucking one or two of these guys will put us back under. To me, it would be worth it. There we go. And now we're back under. Matter of fact, I'm just going to drop those as well. It keeps us reasonably under. And all these other ones, while these are a pound, these are all masterwork. So these are all like $100 items. These ones here are heavy, 8 pounds, but it's $100, $100. That's money in the bank. And we are poor. So this was something that was worth doing. We're going to bounce out of here. Follow our team because you never know we're going to get mugged again. We're clearly tired, so we need to camp. We'll camp on the open road. But it's been over an hour for this video, and I think it's time for us to stop it here. And I'll start right back up again. So I'll be right back.